Good day, beautiful people. Spiritual medium Joseph Tittel here, welcoming you back to Teatime Predictions Update. It is the final day of March 2026, and we are about to step into April in an entirely new energy. Will it be as intense as the month of March? Tomorrow we have the full moon in Libra, ringing in on the very first day of April, April Fools. What does this all mean? And how is it going to affect us all in this coming week? We're going to talk about that today, and how this is going to reflect on world events and current conflicts being fought in the Middle East and in Europe. The United States, President Trump threatens to wipe out desalination plants and power plants, which isn't that supposed to be, against the United Nations and their list of war crimes? Not that that even matters anyway. I mean, these globalists who control the grid do whatever they want to do now, don't they? Yes, they do. So what can we expect to play out in the next week and the next few weeks when it comes to the conflicts? Now, in March predictions, I predicted that major protests would be taking place, which we just saw over the weekend. At least here, I didn't actually look up where else, with another one of those, in my opinion anyway, senseless no kings protests. No kings. We don't have kings here. So it makes no sense to me. It just feels silly. I mean, we have King Charles over there in England. You can go do a no kings protest there. See how far that'll get you. Won't get you very far. How about, I have a better suggestion. How about peace protests? How about protests on no war? That sounds much better. Much better plausible case there to bring peace to the world. Instead of no kings. It's just funny because, again, we don't have no kings here. We have a president and we have a Congress. So the real question is, do you know who's funding these? Because they are being funded. Of course they are. Very well funded. But who are the funders? Now, are we also truly heading towards somewhat of a lockdown? We talked about this a bit last week, and it's kind of already starting to happen, at least in one country. Remember my visions a few years ago? I had visions of major lines at the gas pumps. It reminded me of the 1970s gas crisis. That's happening again in other countries. Major lines in India, Philippines, and other places that are just simply running out of gasoline. It's a problem. How big is that problem really going to get? Speaking of spreading, we have major wildfires that have been spreading, more like sweeping across Nebraska. The media seems to be ignoring it, but why? We are now in the year of the fire horse, and I warned that 2026 in my world predictions that it was going to be a year where we see so much unfortunate things burned to the ground. Also, remember my visions of a vehicle crashing into a power grid? This played out on March 27th and still under investigation when a vehicle took out a power grid or crashed into a power grid, causing over 100,000 folks to be without power. Was it just a test? Now, did y'all see? I thought this was really interesting. The sirens that rung out. Saw a few videos on that at Laguna Beach, California last week. I don't know whether you would call them tsunami sirens. I didn't even know they had them over there in California. But, I mean, I guess you could use them for anything. Tsunami sirens, nuclear fallout sirens. It's kind of interesting that they went off there. And there were a couple other places. Let me know in the comments, if this happened with you with sirens going off. And no matter what country you're in, I want to hear about that. We want to know about that in the comments down below. We also saw this sudden test of the alert systems taking place. I know a few of our friends, I think down under in Australia, mentioned it in the comments a week or two ago. Now it's happening all over the United States. I got one on my phone yesterday, or the day before. Just a text message, though, nothing more. Some people's phones are going off. Now, remember the vision I had, maybe in the Black Mirror? Yeah, last Black Mirror prophecy I did, where I saw the EBS going off, and that would be here in the United States, the emergency broadcast system, and it said this is not a test, but now all of a sudden they're testing all the systems. Had they tested your system? Again, let me know in the comments down below. Are they expecting something bigger to hit soon? Because this has been happening again in other countries as well. Coincidence? Mercury retrograde glitch? Or something much deeper? Excuse me. Probably something much deeper. Now, a real emergency on a national scale has just been declared in the Philippines due to the energy crisis narrative. We talked about this again last week, and now this is quickly arriving on the doorsteps of many. Not a good sign, friends. We are now going to look into all of this today. All of it, and a whole lot more. Including answering some of the tribal questions from the comments over the past week or two. And it's that time again, friends. It's Teatime, baby. Welcome in, friends. Welcome in. I hope you all had a great week and a great weekend. A reminder to you that we do still linger in that post-shadow of Mercury retrograde in Pisces until April 9th. That's when we climb out of it finally. And we are still in that accident-prone energy. And I pointed this out in the past that as we come out of these direct Mercury retrograde stillness and we go into these post-shadows of the retrograde, we always see a very significant rise in folks rising up with health issues, health episodes, and other health ailments, whether it's pulling out your back, hurting your knee, or what have you. And we see medical facilities, not just medical facilities, dentists, probably even therapists, probably especially therapists, all getting very, very busy in that window of time. And that would have been the past few weeks, moving on to probably the next week. So like that whole 3-week window, very, very intense, very intense. And if you're a health worker and you're dealing with that, and you see this pattern happening, because I know all the friends I have that work in the system see this pattern. Do you see this pattern too happening? And have you noticed many people? Because I know I've heard of so many folks having really serious health issues over the past 3 weeks. We'll just say over the past month. People that ended up in the hospital, people that ended up in surgeries. Top this off with the accident-prone energies that we're in, and this is accompanied by folks being injured. Slips and falls. I had my niece fall off a ladder. Sister Lori just tripped and hurt her ankle yesterday. Yeah, you got to be careful. And even if you're not careful, even if you are careful, sometimes being too careful can cause you to slip and fall. And for our elderly folks out there, take it light. We are still in that accident-prone energy. And this could even boil down to hurting your knee, hurting your back, and so forth. So we still must be very mindful of this accident-prone energy. Now throughout the whole month of April, unfortunately, a fair, as far as the Mercury retrograde is concerned, the post-shadow, again, that comes to a close on the 9th of April. So we're almost out of it. Now, I've also noticed, as I always do, that these retrograde energy shift windows bring out the crazy in people. Have you noticed? Like literally brings out the cray-cray. People assume, people jump to conclusions. People jump to conclusions because they're reacting with emotion instead of reacting to grounded, centered reactions. I've seen this once again in this crazy neighborhood that I live in. We've talked about it many times. And there's only a dozen properties here. And you would think, especially in Sedona, Arizona, Sedona is awesome. There's awesome people in Sedona, Arizona. But there's something about this little neck of the canyon. Something about it. You know what? I've tried to think about it today. Why? What is it about this place? And I think it's a combination of also the energies and people unwilling to work on themselves. And the energies hit them. And, Sedona has a way that if you don't do the work, yeah, anyway. I see the crazy in people, total crazy. And then you try to talk to somebody about something, and they start screaming at you or yelling at you. Have you had that experience? I had that yesterday. I just give up. I gave up with this neighborhood. I'm just finished. You avoid it. I avoid things during these energies. It's why we talk about it, and we do the forecast and the monthly forecast, so we know what we're in for and what we need to do. But sometimes even trying to be reasonable to talk to somebody, because of these energies and they can't deal with their emotions, they just lose it. So sometimes you're just better off just biting your tongue and just saying, heck with it. Just let it be. Just like the Beatles song, let it be, let it be. Mother Mary, give me some wisdom. Let it be. So yeah, other than that, did you have any problems like that? Did you notice, the energies with people? in these windows of time especially. So that's what I say. Stick to yourself. Avoid the noid. Some of you might, well, Americans will remember that. What was that? Was that Domino's Pizza? Avoid the noid. The little dude. I have one of him. I think I have him in my box, one of my storage boxes somewhere. Funny enough. Anyway, even though that the retrograde is ended and we only remain in the post shadow, slowly coming out of it over just over the next week, just over a week long, we're out of it. There's still this intense transits, a lot of intense astrological transits in place, and some that are coming our way in the month of April. Tomorrow, April 1st, we have a positive and a powerful vibration that's going to flow in, and that's, the full moon in Libra. That's going to ring in at 7:11 p.m. Arizona time, 10:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Full moon in Libra. And I'm excited as I'm personally going to be going into town tomorrow evening for the monks. They're in town, some of the monks. And they're doing an opening ceremony by the fire pit. Can't wait. Friday, I'm attending a private, a vibrational healing with the monks. Something I never did. Going to indulge in that on Friday night. And then Sunday, they're having the monks' closing ceremony. So I'm kind of excited about that. Get out and do some things. Remember, April is a 5 universal month. And the 5 universal month is, all about adventures. How do we get that? Because people say every month when I bring up the month's numerology, except for last year, because last year the month always ended up being the same as the number. How do you get that number? It's pretty simple. April's a 4 vibration. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2026 is a 1 vibration. It's a 1 year. You add the month to the number of the year we're in, and that's how you come up with the month that we are in. So that 4 plus that 1 equals 5, basic math, hopefully, making April a 5 universal month, which again is all about setting out on adventures and getting out and meeting new people and doing new things. So great time for that. And all the energies are lightening up and, maybe not in the globe or around the world, but things are lightening up, so it'd be good to get out and do some stuff. Now, yesterday I put out my April forecast and prediction, so be sure to check that out if you happen to miss it so that you can take advantage of the April 5 vibration and all the astrological transits that are going to be going into place. Now, back to that full moon in Libra. This is a full moon that I personally feel is going to bring a lot of truth to the surface, personally, collectively, and of course, globally. Remember, Libra rules balance. It rules relationships, diplomacy, justice, alliances, and even open enemies. So when we have a full moon in that energy, something comes to light around these themes and around these realms. Something that has been hitting, something that has been out of balance, something that can no longer be ignored. And this one is strong, friends, because it's going to amplify the very emotional energy that we're already dealing with, that people are already dealing with, which tells me that nations are going to be acting from a place of feeling more justified about things, feeling protective and feeling like they're the right and they're always right and their decisions are right. That's the other hard part. I guess we could say a heightening of narcissism happening and from this full moon effect. On a personal level, this full moon is going to reveal where you are out of balance in your life. And ask yourself that. Where am I out of balance in my life? Where have you been overgiving? Because that's the thing, a lot of you are giving your energy away and giving it away and giving your power away. And then when you have just a little bit of energy and power left, somebody comes along and takes it from you. Then you're powerless and energyless. You got to call your power back. There's a meditation on my channel called Calling Your Power Back. Check that out. Being a lover, nurturer, doer, giver isn't going to help you if you're not giving to yourself first. And taking care of you, because nobody else is going to do it. So, and not in a selfish way, of course. And where have you been keeping the peace in your life at your own expense? Shouldn't be doing that either. And where have you been holding on to something, whether it be a relationship, a situation, an agreement that is no longer fair or aligned to you and your highest potential. That's what this full moon's going to point out. This is the moment of truth, friends. And with Libra, it's not just about walking away, it's about rebalancing. Libras don't walk away. It's all about making sure everything's in perfect balance. Not as much as Aquarius. Aquarius is actually get things in balance. Libras are always trying to get things in balance. Doesn't mean they're always successful at it. Difference there. Now, on a personal level, this full moon is going to reveal where you are out of balance again in your life. Where have you been overgiving? Excuse me. Keeping the peace with others. And taking a really deep look at situations and things, again, that are no longer aligned to your highest potential. And ask yourself what that is, because this is the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth. And remember, Libras, it's a rebalancing time. This is a really powerful time to release resentments, to set new boundaries, to renegotiate terms, which we'll see hopefully on the global level in a positive aspect, and to choose peace, not conflict. Choose peace and choose real peace, not forced peace. This is a really powerful time to also release, again, besides resentments, set new boundaries, renegotiate terms, and again, choose peace. On the global stage, now that's where things are going to get interesting. And that's where things get really interesting, because this full moon is shining a light on global relationships. I mean, we see that already happening, but this full moon's really shining the light on it. Shining on global relationships, alliances, diplomacy, and agreements between the nations, including agreements that may have or may end up being broken in some way or another. And what I strongly feel is that we are going to see a reveal of these imbalances. We're going to see where things are no longer fair, where agreements are completely strained, and where trust is broken or being tested. So again, on the global stage, this could look like a couple different things. It could look like we get these big public statements from leaders. Hopefully some major diplomatic conversations that end up positive. I mean, the potential is definitely there, friends. It's definitely there. Legal international decisions and turning points when it comes to these conflicts that are playing out. I feel that it's going to accelerate, unfortunately, as we step into April. Even though we're out of the retrograde energy cycles, we have other transits and energies that are just showing an escalation, a quiet period, and then followed by more escalation. Not good. And again, there's more about this in my April forecast and predictions. I will also put out a April prediction video separately. Hopefully sometime this week, maybe early next week. Keep an eye out for that. So other things, there could be major turning points, again, when it comes to these conflicts. So we can hold in the light that it'll be good. But at the same time, there's this whole truth that's coming out. It's all about truth coming out. It's a moment for the world stage to really see truth. So remember, on a personal level, remember to take advantage of this full moon. Its ability to actually assist us, because that's what the full moon's there. It can actually help us if you know how to take advantage of it. Remember, the full moon begins the waning moon cycle. And the waning moon cycle that starts on the full moon and lasts till the day before the minutes before the new moon is all about getting rid of and clearing things. That's what the full moon is. You can write things on a piece of paper. I always like to do 3 things. 3 things that you want to eliminate or clear, or thank you, universe, for helping me to clear negative patterns and negative patterns. Or thank you for helping me clear negative relationships. Write these on a piece of paper. Do a little ceremony. I like to burn a yellow candle. Silver works too for the full moon. But it's hard to find silver candles. I mean, some people do gray. I just do yellow. I do yellow for the full moon and usually both moons. It's with the energy that you put into the candle. And you're going to want to burn those pieces of paper and put them in a bowl of water so you don't burn yourself, showing that these things have been eliminated. Now, when it comes to this particular full moon, it has the ability to help us clear things when it comes to healing too. healing, and it also opens up this whole opportunity to bring more balance into our daily lives. That's the whole Libra symbolism, the symbolism of the scales. So use this full moon, take advantage of it, and also utilize it to help you get rid of whatever you need to clear in your life so that it's easier for you to do so. Not that it will be easy, but it's easier when we utilize the energies to the best of our ability. Friends, I just want to take a moment to welcome you back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm spiritual medium Joseph Tittel, Spiritman JT, aka. And if you're new here and you want accurate predictions, prophecy, truth, you want to vibe with this awesome tribe that we are quickly building, smash the subscribe, the bell, and also that you get notifications. Also down below in the description, you'll find the links to all my social media, including the Subscribe Star Awaken Your Spirit community of supporters, and the supporters, the monthly supporters that joined the YouTube channel. All of them and the contributors to this channel help make this free content possible for everybody else, and I am so grateful to you with infinite love and gratitude. Also, you'll find the free newsletter down below, all the links to all my other social media platforms, where I post on IG and TikTok, short videos of the predictions. So if you want to keep track of all the predictions, try to put one up each and every day, so check me out there. You can find more information about my work at spiritmanjt.com, and soon I will have on my website the new line of Teatime products, so you're going to keep an eye out for that. It supports the channel. Hopefully I'll have that done by next week. It's a hard process, and I am on gardening vacation this week. I have this video to put out. I just did the Antichrist video. I just have to finish editing it together with the graphics. So I'll have that out hopefully by Friday or the weekend. And then probably by Monday, the top predictions for April. So keep an eye out for that. And then after that, I got to work on weather predictions. So it's always busy here in the Sedona's Love Shack, baby. Love Shack. Let's move on. This is episode 209. Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time. It appears the conflict in Iran is not slowing down anytime soon. Either is the one over there in Europe. Even though, I just saw something with Ukraine negotiating with Dubai or one of those countries, or maybe it was the UAE. Is that what you call it? United Emirates. Yeah. Dyslexia gets in the way. But yeah, then I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Why are they nosying around in the Middle East now? It's just, the whole thing's weird. This whole thing's weird, people. Very, very weird. And there's no signs of any of it slowing down. I feel like, this just came to me, I feel like Zelensky's, he's on his last leg. What's that mean exactly, spirits? He's on his last leg. And he knows that he's on his last leg. Which makes him even more desperate. What's that mean? You know what they're doing over there too, right? Basically going around and grabbing people and making them fight. And that's a fact. Do your fact checking. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That just goes to show again, they'll be, in the future, unfortunately, they'll bring back drafts in many countries. Here in the U.S., they'll do it in some way or another. Over there and all throughout Europe, yeah, not good. We can shift that, hold on the light that it doesn't happen. And now we have President Trump. He's threatening Iran with wiping out their desalination plants. I always say that word wrong. Desalination plants. The plants that take the salt out of the water so they have fresh water to drink. Like something that they should have a lot more of around the world, so there isn't a problem with water. They can do it. I mean, that's what they do in the Middle East. But he wants to take out their plants and even their power plants, which, that's pretty dirty. That's dirty fighting right there. Really dirty. When they say that this is against, this is a war crime, according to, I guess, the United Nations. Are they the ones that come up with the war crimes and what is and what isn't? So war. War's a crime. How about that? How about war in itself is a crime? I like that better. Oh, that's a war crime. That's a war crime. No, war is a crime. It's awful. I mean, unless you have to defend yourself, but still, it's all just negative energies, bad vibrations. And, the globalists, it's all about who gets to control the grid, right? We've seen one war crime after another being committed in the Middle East. Netanyahu's won it in how many countries due to that fact? So is Russian leader Vladimir Putin. He's also won it in multiple countries for the same so-called war crimes. And now Trump wants to commit them and do that to the poor people, and you got to think about the people. And yes, the governments and regimes are bad. They got to go. Okay, great. But what about the people? It just brings back the visions that I had of all these people, this mass exodus of people leaving. Not exodus like passing away. I saw that too, but refugee crisis, major, like one of the worst. It seems like the way the Middle East is going, that's exactly where it's heading. The worst, meaning it wouldn't just be Iran. We already know people are fleeing Israel. They're probably fleeing Iran too. I would doubt it, or trying to anyway. And then you have those puppeteers at the top that are just pulling all the little strings. It's wild. It's wild to watch it unfold. Sit in the background, unplug from that energy, and just watch. Are you able to unplug from that energy and watch? If not, then just don't watch at all. Don't pay attention to what's going on if it stresses you out in any form whatsoever. Now, remember my visions and predictions going back a few years ago around water wars and issues around waters? Like big time? And even I think it was pretty sure it was Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce or Nostradamus, one of the two said water would become worth its weight in gold. People don't only realize that you already pay more for water than you do for gasoline. If you're buying it in the store and you're going into the little, takeout store, the little gas station and buying one of those little bottles of water that you're paying anywhere from $1 to $4 a bottle for. It's not even a gallon. You're already paying more than you are for gasoline. A lot more. There's a whole chart of how much you pay a gallon for stuff. It's just insane. And people complain about gas. They'll have a reason to complain about gas soon enough, that's for sure. We have so much water energy that's in place right now when it comes to transits and such, and in the coming months. So, yeah, it makes sense that there could and will be attacks on water infrastructures. Maybe even right here in the United States in some form or another. And I see issues coming not just for Iran around water. I see issues for water coming around Israel and some other type of issues around water for both Dubai and Saudi Arabia. And probably United Emirates as well, because that just came to me. So, yeah. Now, Spirit gives me this strong feeling that Mother Earth and Mother Nature together are going to be showing some type of strong signs in the near future. Some type of strong signs that are basically a warning. So I would say expect there to be large earthquakes around Iran and Israel. Maybe even, what came to my mind first was Afghanistan and Turkey. But spreading out, Iran and Israel. I also feel like there's going to be some other type of water-related events that are going to take place. I saw visions of floods in deserts. Floods in deserts now. We have desert out here in Arizona too, so maybe there's going to be floods here. But I saw floods in deserts in the Middle East. I saw a problem with polluted waters. And now that I go deeper into this, polluted waters, Spirit, polluted waters. I think this could have something to do with the cloud of radiation that I saw in the past, going back a while back too. And I said years ago that we would see the use of some type of tactical nukes, but I'm not saying this is necessarily what it is. It could be being hit like some kind of nuclear power plant, for example, being hit. But I see some kind of radiation affecting waters. Some kind of toxic something with waters. And I'm just assuming that this is in the Middle East. I don't know. It just is coming to me now. But thank you, spirits. So polluted waters, and the question is going to arise in the future. We're going to be hearing what's happening over there, especially in the Middle East with the weather and earthquakes and such. People are going to be asking, oh, is this weather warfare? Is that what's really happening? Because they're using it on us. You see it in the skies all the time. They're using that against us, our own citizens. Crazy, crazy times we're in. But again, now people are aware of it. That's the first key to shifting and changing everything. That's the positive aspect. And I feel that there's some kind of coming hit on some type of a United States ship, perhaps two ships, one being a United States ship, the other one likely being maybe an Israeli ship. Now, this just also comes to me. I see some kind of problem around a ship for Japan, too. The Japanese are having a problem with one of their Navy ships in an encounter. I'm going to guess that that's probably with China. So there's a problem with that coming up. And that may not even take place. The month of June comes to me, too. So there's some kind of problem in June when it comes to Japan and their naval fleet. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Lots of friends over there in Japan watching. Thank you for watching. Now YouTube does the automatic being able to translate, which is pretty awesome. And for folks that don't realize that when this is uploaded, it takes sometimes a day before the translation comes up and before the captions come up. Sometimes the captions, because I'll see it in the comments, oh, where's the closed captions? I have no control over that whatsoever. It's whenever YouTube slips it in there. And we are still in that lingering shadow, so that causes delays. So going back to these ships that I see, because I saw a problem, it felt a problem with a ship on the water, two ships. Again, one likely could be Israel, one's definitely United States, and it felt really strange to me. It felt really off. Almost like, I would say, almost like a flag that flies ever so falsely. Not completely clear, though. I'm not completely clear other than feeling that this is going to escalate things in the region where this takes place. And the waters are going to be a place to watch very closely, friends. This includes issues with things like things under the water. So I get this sudden feeling that there's going to be a sudden use of submarines. But are they going to be suddenly using submarines? They can only suddenly be using submarines to shoot something from underwater. See how that plays out. And then also I see sudden issues with sudden use of the submarine, and then sudden issues with underwater pipes and cables, which I believe is even in my April forecast and predictions. Now, unfortunately, things are not going to be slowing down. They're really actually ramping up. It's a really big push by the globalists to eliminate oil dependency, as they like to look at it as, and to force us all to be dependent on their new global order, the NWO. And we all just need to hold in the light, friends, together, that they will fail. They will fail, and the light will win and prevail in the end of it all. Did you see the crazy videos? Propaganda, they call it. I mean, that's what it is, but that's what they call it. Put out by Iran. Especially, extremely concerning, and once again pointing out, I thought it was really interesting because the video totally points out the pedo networks of baby-eating psychopaths that are running our world. Yeah, Russia pointed out these same facts, interesting enough, along with the whole Epstein saga. Interesting that they're the ones calling them out, and they're also the centers of being attacked. Coincidence? I doubt it. Now take a moment to watch this little video here. Because for those who have missed it, because I know some people, I sent it to my friend, he's like, I didn't hear about that, and he hears everything. Like, he's on top of stuff like I am, right there, Mike? He's probably not on top of my show today. But he's on top of stuff, and he didn't catch it. So maybe you didn't catch it, so you're going to catch it today. And I want you to read the captions that show up with it below. Check this out. as you noticed, the video showed those who were wrong done by America, starting with the Native Americans and the Native people of North America here. Then you saw Vietnam, and then they ran through the list, including the little girl looking up that was standing on Epstein Island. No coincidence there. All of them watching this ballistic missile that's flying over them and then flying towards New York City and hitting the Statue of Liberty, who they portray in the video, if you missed that, as the evil deity Baal. B-A-A-L. You know, they sacrifice little ones to Baal. That's what they're all about. And the globalists worship Baal, along with other dark gods that they worship. And funny that they chose to make the Statue of Liberty appear like a demon. I thought that was kind of interesting. What else do they know? Because, you know, many people believe that the Statue of Liberty is actually a depiction of Lucifer himself. Because if you really look closely at the symbolism, Liberty very much is Lucifer. From the chains at her feet, or his feet, to the apple, the big apple. Like if you go look at the old statues of Lucifer, yeah, and especially the facial details. That's when you look at it, the statue, you look at the Lucifer statue, and you're like, whoa, that's totally him. Believe what you will. Now, here's another video that was put out I want to know what I want to know what you think about that there video and that strike. Because remember I said in the past I saw the falling down of Statue of Liberty. And then soon after I said that, we had the replica of the Statue of Liberty in Brazil that fell over in a big storm. And then everybody went wild in my comments. I mean, possible. But I also saw the arm of the statue breaking off. It reminded me more of the movie like 2012 or The Last Day. Was it The Last Day? I think it was The Last Day. Oh, no, The Last Day she was frozen in ice. That's right. It was 2012 where the waves washed her. Yeah. Anyway. And I took that as symbolic more than an actual thing happening in my visions where I saw the Statue of Liberty falling apart and crashing to the ground. I took it as being symbolic. But now they're actually pointing it out in their propaganda video. Now here's another video. This video put out by Iran's media. There were a few actually. I'm just going to show you these two. And I cannot put the movie up here because it's rap music, but just read it as you go along. And just in case there's some friends, we will be talking more and more and more about this conflict in the coming year, unfortunately, and the other conflicts as well, until the time of concern comes with the visions. Remember, the visions that I had of a flag flying ever so falsely. And the huge cloud of radiation that I saw going back, I feel like I have to mention that again. The potential for that playing out, this is just a guess, would be during the summer months, July, August. But I mean, at this point, it could be any time. Nothing would surprise me. But on an energetical level, July is going to be intense, and that could be very well a time where we see that. Going back to the water for a moment, because I see these ships heading to the Middle East. You can see a fleet of ships heading towards the Middle East, and they're not Israel's and they're not United States. Perhaps they're Britain moving in to assist, which would be a huge mistake for both parties, of course. Yeah, I think they may be Britain. British flags heading into Iran, into the waters. I would think that this would have something to do with the Strait of Hormuz. There we go with the focus on water again. There we go. Focus on water also includes focus on trade goods. That's why I tell you, keep stocking up. There's one company I ordered some of the freeze-dried food from. They just had a half-off sale. They had it when I was away in Pennsylvania doing events for weeks. And I didn't order because there was nobody here to get the package. And then I got home and there was one day left and I hurried up and ordered. As a matter of fact, this should be coming today or tomorrow. It's been a while. But freeze-dried foods, meats is what I ordered. Ground meat or whatever meats I ordered, freeze-dried. It's better to be safe than sorry. If you got it, you can do it. Just do it. Also, I wanted to read this little message that was posted by Iran. Give me a second here, pull this up. Here we go. I forget where this was posted. Maybe on probably X. All this garbage gets posted there. This was a message, and it says loser. Meaning, it goes back to that video too, actually. There's another video they did called Losers. You will be drowned in, so part of this is cut off. Oh, NRBLOOD. You will drown in ours, says Iran. You made a grave mistake by choosing to attack us. Among all U.S. presidents, you stand out for making one of the most reckless and misguided decisions. You underestimated the strength, resilience, and unity of our people. History will judge this choice and will not be in your favor. No thanks. No thanks you for the attention to this matter. The people of Iran. Thought that was kind of interesting. There's always something going on there. Very, very interesting. Yeah, well, I'd say it was a huge mistake, but it wasn't a mistake because they planned this a long time ago. Did you see the video of Donald Trump, when he was Donald Trump, before he was President Trump, going back to 1989, where he says, well, if I were president, I'd go in and I'd take over Iran's oil infrastructure. I'd go in and take whatever they have. He's doing it 30-some years later, 40 years later, almost 40 years later, and he's actually doing it. Crazy times indeed. I also feel that I got this feeling that China's assisting Iran, as they did in the past, as I said in the past that would be the case. And I feel like they are quietly moving in to assist Iran with weapons and technology. They're hiding them on ships. Somehow. So I guess there were some ships coming in and out, I guess, with oil, but they're hiding it. Or they were hiding it on ships. So they got more in Iran than we give them credit for. There's a lot more technology, drone technology, and other stuff that they have not yet unleashed. And I get that China is quietly moving in to assist Iran with weapons and technology. And we're going to find this out in the future when some type of unexploded missile or maybe even a drone of some sort shows up with Chinese writing on it. That's how we're going to find out. So prayers to all of the Middle East and really to all of the planet Earth right now, because we need prayers and we need peace on Earth. In my March predictions, I predicted major protests would take place, which we saw over the weekend with another I believe to be senseless No Kings protest. Senseless mainly because, in my opinion, again, that it should be more of a protest against war. Like, how about a no war protest? How about a peace protest? We have the same astrological alignments, especially here in the United States, that align to what happened in the late 60s with the whole Vietnam peace protest. But they're doing a No Kings protest, even though we don't have kings. We don't have kings in the United States. It's just, to me, it just doesn't even make sense. How about no presidents? Or how about no puppet leaders? Because they're all puppets. I don't know how people don't see that. I really, the whole thing's kind of funny. If you want to do a no kings protest, perhaps you should do that where there are actually kings, like in England. Watch how fast that'll last. That won't last long. They'll get you out of there real quick. We have presidents. How about no president? I prefer the no peace, the no war. Peace protest, no war. That's what we should be doing. That's what folks should be out there, fighting for. The goodness and freedom and peace for all. So who's funding it? Who's funding it and why? Forgot to bring this up too. Because, they're all funded. Everything's funded. They don't just come out there. And this wisdom just came out with the financiers. The financiers of the No Kings protest starts with Arabella, who put in $79 million. Warren Buffett, of course, at 16, he's cheapskate. $16 million, while Arabella put in $79 million. Ford, which was a big surprise to me. Ford makes me not ever want to buy a Mustang. $51 million. Rockefeller, $26 million. George Soros, of course, he's almost the top. He's right there next to Arabella at 72 million. And Tides, I don't know who Tides is. Maybe someone could tell us in the comments. I don't know. What is that? A total of, that's a lot. What is that? $294 million total. 294 million. Yeah. Wow, that's just insane. Insanity, friends. Insanity. But that's what's happening. And speaking of protest, there are also some other shocking type of protests that are going to come to the United States and that are already starting to kind of whip up a little bit. And the fact that this is something that's going to aid in the division of people. And this is where it gets really interesting, friends, because this here video that I'm about to show you comes from my hometown area. I'm from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, but hey, my home city, Philadelphia, PA. Give a listen.
We have done everything in our power to bring the United States to its knees. Let us not lose sight of the enemy. For every U.S. military base that crumbles, and for every U.S. soldier who returns home in a casket, we cheer.
You hate America? May a Hamas rocket blow up your family's home.
Now, I'm just going to repeat a little bit about what this cray-cray psychopath just said right in our own country. He stated, until we have done everything in our power to bring the United States to their knees, let us not lose sight of the enemy. You're saying this right to us, right to our own faces in our own country. That's insane to me. And then he says, we cheer for each soldier sent back in a casket. What a friggin' disgrace. I'm sorry, that's an absolute disgrace. That man needs to be like locked up. And, you know, friends, that is literally, that's the true definition of a domestic terrorist right there. True definition of it. And again, that man should be arrested, and hey, maybe they should drop him off in a parachute into the center of Iran. Drop him off in Tehran. I see how he likes it. And if he stands, you know, it's just insane. Calling us the enemy on our own ground. It's wild to me. Now here's another clip. This clip right here, this one comes out of South Carolina over the weekend. Once again, very concerning. We discussed places like Dearborn, Michigan, and how, you know, you try walking through Dearborn, Michigan. It's going to be a problem, I'm sure. But I brought up predictions that things are going to happen around Dearborn. That came back to my mind just now. But I talked about that and how this is all pretty much getting out of hand. We saw in Texas, Texas really fought against them wanting their own rights. What are they trying to do? And the little law that they have. You don't have to put it in the comments. Just drawing a blank. Sharia law. Thank you. Thank you, spirits. Thank you. They're on target today. But yeah, they tried to pass that in Texas and it didn't get passed. Thank the Lord for that. But they have it in Dearborn, Michigan. Shame on those people in Michigan. Well, not the people in Michigan, but the government there that allowed this all to happen. You know, I told you about, like, even the church that a lot of my friends, you know, got married in and such is now a mosque. Catholics sold out. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, this is a part of the division. And you remember I read to you probably maybe a couple months ago, I read to you the plan that they put out a long time ago from Islam. And the plan was to spread out and take over, especially in political positions. And we see what's happening over there in United Kingdom and such with their leaders and with them taking over. So yeah, we're in interesting times for sure, friends. Interesting times for sure. Last week we talked about this, but I wanted to talk about it even more today. Is the fact of the matter is, are we really truly heading towards somewhat of a lockdown? It's kind of already happening, friends, at least in one country. Remember my vision a few years ago? I had visions years ago, at least 2 years ago, of major lines at gas stations. It reminded me of the 1970s gas crisis. And it's happening. It's actually happening. Not here in the United States, but it's happening in other places, major lines in India and other places, and that's just going to spread out. We see major lines. I got to pull this article over to me. We have major lines happening in the Philippines. And I forget where else. Probably China, too, would be a guess. I mean, I don't know. It's just a guess. A real emergency that's happening now on a national scale has also been declared with this whole gasoline thing and oil crisis. This is for real. Everything's oil, too. Everything. Like, they make everything. Even your polyester clothing. Don't wear polyester. Or nylon clothing it is. All made out of, petrofuels. Even this phone. All made out of petrofuels. Oh, boy. So the I can talk today. The Philippines declared a national emergency due to a energy crisis narrative. We talked about this on the show last week, friends. Just last week we talked about it, and it already happened in less than a week of me saying it. And it wasn't even me saying it. We were reading what the IEA put out. Is that what they're called? Wrong thing. Let me look at the article here. So I don't know what the gas convergence is, but there's a sign here that shows in the Philippines it's $97.50 a gallon. I'm sure that's not U.S. dollars, but the Philippines declared a national emergency in response to the U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran, marking the latest sign of strain in Asia and the Middle East. Conflict stifles oil delivery and threatens an emergency crisis. Philippine president said in a part that ongoing war threatened the availability and stability of the country's energy supply. The emergency declaration allows the Philippine government to exert control over fuel prices and fast-track imports to alternative suppliers such as Russia, Philippine authorities say. I was trying to look at a list because I know they passed a bunch of rules. Global oil prices skyrocketed in recent. I saw booty cat. Yeah, it's not really telling me anything more other than that they declared a crisis. Apparently, people are walking to work. Millions of people, they're not driving. They can't. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. But remember how much they wanted to push us into their electric cars? Sound familiar? Push us into their digital cities? Remember, you will own nothing and be happy, said Klaus Schwab a few years ago in the WEF. You will own nothing and be happy. Is this how they do it? You'll be happy because we're going to give you something. I just shut that. I didn't mean to do that. Darn. There we go. Anyway, yeah, that's what's happening. Now my computer's frozen. That's what else is happening. Come on, computer. What are you doing? There we go. So anyway, here's another thing that's interesting that you may want to know. Do you remember on January 29th of last year, Trump happened to sign an executive order declaring a national emergency, a national energy emergency last year? Executive Order 14156 was signed on January 20th, 2025. Folks forgot all about that already. Now, just over a year later, they attack Iran and their energy infrastructure. Now, I was going to go into the Executive Order 14156, but it's so long, I didn't have time for that. But no coincidences, friends. No coincidences. Speaking of things that are spreading, major wildfires have been spreading, or more like sweeping across Nebraska over the past week, and over a week now, I believe. The media is ignoring it. We're now in the year of the fire horse in Chinese astrology, which kicked in February. And I warned in my 2026 predictions that we were going to see so much come burn in 2026. So unfortunately, we see the Middle East is burning right now. Parts of Russia and Ukraine are burning right now. And the wildfires. Now, I will go deeper into this when I do my weather video because weather, fires, all kind of related with each other. I did just have a vision, I think it was in my April forecast that I put out yesterday, of fires, so you might want to check that out. But I just wanted to send prayers to the people in Nebraska and to the wildlife that gets wiped out because that's what really breaks my heart is the wildlife. Those poor animals and creatures. So prayers to them. Remember my visions of a vehicle crashing into a grid? This actually played out on March 27th when a vehicle crashed into a power plant in California. And somebody put that in the comments. Now I got to find it because now I forgot all about it. Darn. But it happened in California. Is that it? Someone put it in the comments. Thank you for telling us in the comments. It's still under investigation. It left, I forget where in California. I thought I had it here. I don't have it here, but know what else I have here? Did you see that Israel police blocked the Catholic Cardinal of Jerusalem from making Palm Sunday in the Church of the Holy, which has been done for centuries, and they blocked him. There goes Israel again, blocking stuff, messing stuff up. It's their government. It's not the Israeli people, by the way. It's not the Americans. It's the American government. It's not Israel. It's not Israelis. It's the Israel government, the Zionists. It's not Russia. It's the Russian government. Like, it's always those at the top. Not us little people. Not us little people. What else was there that I wanted to share with you today? Did y'all see actually the emergency sirens that rung out in Laguna Beach last week? Causing a lot of concerns and anxiety for people. I mean, that would cause me anxiety, especially if they went off here. I know we have them here in the canyon for wildfires. We see all of a sudden these tests for the alert systems. Now, I want to know again in the comments down below if they've done this where you live, especially in other countries. Here we call it the EBS, the Emergency Broadcast System. I know they call it something different in different countries, but all of a sudden they're testing it. I had it on my phone. I think it's still actually on my phone. There it is. What day was this? This was Sunday. No, yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Urgent from Coconino Emergency Management. This is an annual test of our Coconino County emergency systems. Blah, blah, blah. This is only a test. Now, you remember my visions I had where this is not a test. Don't know where that's happening. And I didn't even know they had sirens over there on the beaches of California. But I guess they have them everywhere because I didn't know that they had them here until I got a message about it when we were having fires. If you hear the sirens, I go, okay, I guess we have them too. We have them for fires. I guess Cali has them for that. And I guess we all have them in case all of a sudden somebody starts to decide to attack America. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Now, a few questions. Now, if you have a question, you can leave your question below in the comments, not in the Premier's chat room. There's a big difference between the two. The Premiere, when the videos premiere, there's a live chat room, and that's only during the live premiere. The comments are down below. You're going to want to put a capital letter Q, quotations, and one question. Please do not type in old capitals because it is obnoxious. So coming from the coffee coach here, could it possibly be the president of South Africa that America ends up taking out? We have civil unrest around the corner, and President Ramaphosa, did I say his name right? I think I did. Ramaphosa keeps stirring the pot with President Trump. Let me just tell you something. Trump is not going to go into South Africa. There's nothing there that benefits America. You remember, they want Cuba because Venezuela because they're saying it's protecting Greenland. These are all things that they have planned. They don't want nothing to do with South Africa. Not yet, anyway. I wouldn't worry about it. So, no, it's not. That's not happening. That's definitely not happening. My next question is from Debbie McCarroll. In the future, when they bring digital currency, will there still be cash for a while? A very short period of time. And here's where cash is going to come in handy, especially older cash, especially if you want to pass something down to your kids and grandkids. Cash and coins is going to be worth a lot of money in the future when they go all digital because, collectors. There's always going to be collectors. Like there's collectors of baseball cards and all those other things. And there's big collectors of coins and money already. When they stop printing it completely, it's just going to make it all go up more in money. Because what they're going to also do is they're going to start offering to pay people to cash in their money. Cash in your cash before it's too late. They always make it look better for you. Before it's too late, cash in your cash. Don't cash in your cash. Hold on to that cash. I mean, unless you had millions in cash, you might want to cash some of that in, but I don't think any of us have that. At least not yet. And then there's going to be a very big barter system. People will find a way because there's people that have silver, and that's why I say silver, gold, precious metals. People will trade that way. People will find ways around their digital system. Of course they will. They're going to say, it stops criminals. It's not going to stop them criminals, the criminals that actually invented it. Next question. Thank you for all that you do. I'm currently reading a book called OJ is Innocent and I Can Prove It. There are some excellent points that have been brought up. It's made me curious if you and your spirit guides can tell us if that's the case, if this case will ever be solved. If not this case, do you see any other major shocking cases closing, or being solved? No, blah, 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 blah. It's too many questions. We'll stick with OJ. OJ is innocent. He didn't do it. He protected somebody that did, and he knows who did. And I'm pretty sure it was his son. The truth likely would be revealed, but not until by then it'll be too late and they won't be able to do anything. So will justice prevail? No. Will the truth be revealed? Yes. So yeah, all right. OJ was covering up for his son. Interesting. Joseph, what do you see coming for the American West and Southwest when it comes to fires? Well, I'm going to save that for my weather video. When I do my weather video and my map scrying and I gaze at the map, I'll be able to do a better view of fires. I know they're doing some controlled burns up in Flagstaff. They do that every year here. That's a good thing when they do controlled burns. They stopped doing that in California. It's probably why California has so many problems. Cleaning out the forest, all of that. And here's one other question. Hi, JT, South African living in Indonesia for now. Any timeline on the unrest in South Africa? I do not have timelines. I do not get dates unless Spirit gives them to me. If I were to guess on timelines just based on the energies, I'd say the summer months, July. Intense energies, July, August. Last timeline would be towards the latter part of the year, November into December. Those would be the timelines. And that is what I have for you for today, friends. Keep an eye out. Make sure you check out the April forecast and predictions from yesterday. Make sure you keep an eye out for top predictions for coming up for April. And my Antichrist video. You're going to want to see that. That's a good one, too. Really good. We go into the astrology and the numerology and how it may all align to this being the time of the Antichrist. Good stuff there. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Helps the channel. Any thumbs and any interaction with the channel, leave an emoji down below. Leave a comment down below. Any interaction shows the algorithms lots of interaction, which gets this out to a lot more people. And I appreciate that. If you just subscribe to the channel, welcome to the tribe, baby. Welcome to the tribe. Until the next time, friends, remember all the information's down below in the description below the video. Until the next time, remember, friends, be bold, be true, be kind, be you. Let your light shine ever so brightly and have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste and much love, friends.